You only spent 1 year at Rochester.
Right, right. And then I moved to Cornell, and that was a whole different thing. At Rochester, I had nobody to talk to about topology. There were many good mathematicians there in other areas. Paul Cohen was there,
Yes.
who later won the Fields Medal, and the Rudins were there, and Arshad Hajian was a very good measure theorist. He was the, he and Paul Cohen and I had come at the same time, and we talked to each other, but there was nobody to talk topology with, in particular algebraic topology. Well, Mary Ellen Rudin, of course, is a very good points-set topologist, but that was not my dish of tea at the time. So, but at Cornell, there were lots of people, and Paul Ullem and Peter Hilton was there.
Oh, yes.
He was there for visiting my first year, and he gave a very beautiful course.
The voice alone is worth the price of admission.
But he was a master lecturer and so beautifully organized. And he was very good at finding the essence of something and pulling it out and using it.
He was a radio personality before there were television personalities.
Well, I tangled with him once many, many years later at his 60th birthday in St. John's. We were invited to have a little panel discussion on television about education. And so we had a nice discussion for 3/4 of an hour or something like that. And then, just before the program ended, he said something so outrageous that I was beside myself, and the program ended. I couldn't answer. He was so skillful.
What did he say?
Oh, I don't remember exactly. The issue basically was the role of research for teachers of mathematics, and I was in favor of it.
Of course.
And he was rather negative at times.
He did spend a lot of time afterwards
About education.
About education.
Yeah. He did a lot about that, yeah.
How long were you at Cornell?
5 years altogether. 1 year I was on leave, and that was a very good year. I got an NSF postdoc, and that was 59, 60. And I was going to go to Oxford to study with Henry Whitehead. And then it turned out that Henry was going to be at Chicago in the fall and Princeton in the spring. So I went to Chicago in the fall, and then I went to Oxford in the spring when he came to Princeton. And that was very interesting. It was very interesting to meet him. He was quite a colorful personality. His initials, of course, were JHC, Whitehead, which many people interpret as, Jesus, he's confusing. He was not noted for the clarity of his lectures, but he had many very deep ideas in topology.
Yeah, some of his ideas feel like they were way ahead of their time.
Absolutely, yeah. He had the founding idea of K-theory,
Yes,
basically.
absolutely.
Yeah. But K1 rather than K0, which was interesting.
While you were at Cornell, you started something which I believe is still going, the Cornell Topology Festival. How did you realize did you just do it once and it took a life of its
It
own?
must have been 1962, since this is the 50th anniversary. Well, we were there, and let's see, who was there in 62? Well, Olam and Roger Livesey. And anyway, at the end of the year, we noticed that there's still a lot of money left in the grants. And we hadn't been able to convince enough speakers to come during the year. So I said, why don't we just bring them all here, bring a whole bunch, and we'll have a topology festival.
I remember once going up there with you in the 60s when there were all kinds of demonstrations and campus was occupied, and we had to go to that in secret, actually. We had to go through some tunnel underneath to get to the math building. So we couldn't be officially present on the campus. We had to sneak around.
Really?
Yeah, those were interesting times. Wow, yeah.